इदानीं तत्र आगच्छ
Okay.
This it is not taking
Okay. I think we have to do all the technical glitches before we start. That is our Ganesha now. We have to do off-seasons to it before we start. Anyway, okay. Om Vagartha viva sampruktau Vagartha pratipattaye Jagada pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau Vasudeva sutam devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Harihi Om. First of all, my namaskarams to Dr. Rama for organizing this wonderful satsanga for all of us, and to the Vyoma brothers for making it happen. As Vishwanathan was saying, the flavor of the season now is Indian knowledge system, Indian management. We lost 200 years because of the British, whatever has happened. It's a discontinuity. We are all product of that new thing. We are now hoping the future generations will get back to the great legacy of this country. So there are so many attempts made now, and as he was saying, the moment you say Indian management, one fertile ground is Bhagavad Gita. Truly, because there are a lot of very interesting ideas there, very interesting insights, and very wonderful messages for us. So today I have chosen one out of that. I do a full course in IAM on that for the last, I've been doing for 15 years now. So when they asked, I said we will talk on one issue which is bothering a lot of people today. It's all about work. The whole notion of work has changed. Some 40, 50 years back, a few things have happened. 40, 50 years back, one member from the family was generally working. The other member was taking care of the family, creating the continuity for the future, which was an equally an important role. This is one aspect of work that has changed. Now today it has become a double income family for a number of people, for whatever reasons. Let us not get into the reasons, there is no point in talking about it. But the point is, it has become double income family now. This is the first change in the work. The second change in the work, it doesn't matter where you work, because this applies even to a priest. It's all, you go in the morning at 7 o'clock and you don't know what time you come back in the evening. For everybody. Earlier, it was only for semi-skilled, low-skilled labor. Today, high-skilled labor are even put into this trouble. I know quite a few chartered accountants who never come home here. Hence, I don't know how many of them are here, but even a highly skilled job is today in such a demanding position. So the whole work has changed. The way we work, who goes to work, to what extent we should work. All these have gone through a very sea change in the last 30, 40 years. So where has it taken us? See, today what has happened is work has become eminently a problem of multiple nature. So I was just going through some research papers. So there are very interesting things. I want to tell you a few of them. There are suggestions on managing your work while on vacation. What nonsense is this? Yeah? done quite a few research out of which I just pulled a few statements here and there. Not some, many individuals report what is called leisure sickness. They become sick if there's no leisure. This is how this working environment has pushed people. Saturday, Sunday, you have to work madly. With work from home, it has become even worse. I find some of my next generation people are all the time keeping their food like this and eating and attending meetings. There is no lunch break. In work from home is terribly bad, I'm telling you. It has taken every possible leisure out of individuals. What people thought is interesting is not interesting. And there is a certain amount of socialization which is very important. You have to step out for at least 3-4 hours. So anyway, things are slowly changing, I think. In management, they say multitasking. Multitasking is very important. You can't be just doing one task. But there is enough research now, it says multitasking has taken the performance out. People don't perform very well when they do multitask. So like this, there are so many things happening that the very idea of work has challenged our existence. Now, there is one powerful research. Powerful, what I mean by powerful is many researchers have come to the same conclusion. What is that? Workers all over the world, workers are saying deprived meaning in workplace. I don't find any meaning in workplace. Now you may be wondering why this is all okay. This is not okay. Because human beings are inherently meaning making. God has created human beings like that. If you cannot make sense of something, it will develop stress. We are all organic. There is, we live on meaning. We don't live without meaninglessly, nobody lives. So the work that they are doing from morning to evening, if they are not able to find meaning to it, that is the reason for stress. So it's a very powerful research. People across continents have done this research and they are saying deprived meaning at workplace. Which means I'm going to work, but it is going to be stressful. There are many words, burnout. I don't want to throw all those words at you when hearing stress, burnout. Okay? People are worn out, burnout. This is not the way to spend our time. It doesn't mean we have to run away from workplace. That is why I want to give this lecture. That's why I want to talk today. By no stretch of imagination, I am saying, therefore, we have to give up work. That's not what I am talking about. I am merely pointing out that there is a method by which we have walked through the path of what is called working. That has landed us in a big mess. It has really landed in a big mess. Now, what is that mess? Let me tell you what is that mess, which I have seen. Knowingly or unknowingly, every one of us are deeply steeped into what is called what is in it for me. I am not using in a derogatory sense. It has happened. Anything that we do, that is the training we have got right from schooling up to the college, up to professional education everywhere. Anything that we do, we have to ask what is in it for me. Even for a good reason. I am saying that it's a certain attitude. So now the question is there a notion of work without what is in it for me? This is a big question now. Bhagavad Gita's one pillar is that. I will come to it a little later. But what I am saying today, work means any work. Even a small boy, a student, a house help, a priest, everybody thinks there must be in fact, prayojanam vina mandopi na pravartate. Anudishya. Prayojanam anudishya mandopi na pravartate. At one level, that is what it is being told. So everybody looks for prayojana. Now, the definition of prayojanam has to be changed, therefore. What is prayojanam, we have to ask now. If that shloka is right, then we have to understand what is the prayojanam that we are looking for. The second thing that has happened, this is a huge makeover from the West to India. Work is drudgery. Therefore, you have to get away, weekend get away. This is a fancy thing now. In Bangalore, you cannot step out on Saturday and Sunday. It's simply not possible to step out on Saturday and Sunday. Because work is drudgery. Work is so boring. So I have to do something about it. So therefore, Saturday, Sunday, shop till you drop in the malls. These kinds of words are being used, right? You have Meenakshi Mall, Kamakshi Mall, Sahasrama malls will come now. Gajalakshmi Mall, Ashtalakshmi Mall, everything will Garuda Mall. Everything will come because it looks like that is the way we have to live. So work is drudgery, therefore I need a break. I need a weekend getaway. Right? The joke, I was in US for a year, 1999-2000. So the joke at that time was, they say, Monday, Tuesday, you should talk about how was the last weekend. Thursday, Friday, you talk about how do you plan the next weekend. Wednesday, you work. In a joking way. What I mean to say is, it looks like if you have to work, you need a break. Otherwise, work is not possible. Bhagavad Gita has challenged that also. The notion of Bhagavad Gita does not agree to it. Bhagavad Gita thinks work can lead to joy. That is what it is. Work is stressful, work is drudgery, therefore I don't enjoy it. But I have to do it because there is an economic angle to it. So I have to do it. So we are in, this is the broad picture of working. And this is what we have learned from the Westerners. And that is Brahma Satya for us. Therefore, everybody has to go the same path. Everybody must feel stressed out. So I quite often these days in my lectures I say, you earn a 7 digit and give 6 digit to the hospital. Which 6 digit I do not know. That depends on what situation you are in. 1 digit is for you. So find out whether it's units, tens, hundreds, or 10,000, you decide. That seems to be the way we are working. Definitely that's not the way to go. Definitely not. Now the question is, what is the root cause of all this? It is as follows. Today, you know how work is organized all over the world? There is a work. You are a manager, you are a teacher, you are some, whatever position. There is a work, there is a reward. These are the two pillars of current way of working. There is something called work, there is something called reward. This is the starting point. Okay? Then what happens is, the work leads to outcomes. Every work must result in an outcome. Nobody can stop it. And because there are rewards, there are some performance measures. So that outcomes are measured against that performance. Those who are working, you are very familiar with what I am saying. Those who are working also are familiar with this. So there is a work, there is a reward. These are the two pillars. Rewards throw what is called performance measure. Work throws outcome. Now you check. Is the outcome commensurate to the performance measure? If it is fine, give him, pat him on his back, on her back, give her a promotion or move forward. This is what it is. On the face of it, it looks very good. Oh, fantastic idea. Why not? This is what we think. But there are a lot of hidden variables here, which is what is creating a problem. So let us understand what are the hidden variables. Because the idea was, you put rewards along with work, then happiness will increase, productivity will increase. This is what the Western idea is, which is completely coming here. It all looks fine, but as in reality is not like that. Because there is something called risk aversion. Each one of us take only a certain kind of risk. So moment you show me the performance metrics to me, I think I cannot meet it. You think you can easily meet it. Somebody think I don't know whether I will meet or not. So the risk aversion comes in. Immediately it creates the first layer of problem. So moment risk aversion comes, the quality of effort starts suffering because I am so worried whether I will get the promotion or not. I am so worried whether I will meet the requirements or not. So the quality of effort starts suffering. Moment the quality of effort starts suffering, stress starts developing. So what is supposed to increase my joy is now taking me to a route in which there is a good chance I will be stressed out completely. This is where we are. This is how this whole idea of work has put all of us, and that happens at home. I'm telling you, it is happening for a homemaker also. There is some, invisible performance metrics running somewhere that puts a pressure even for me, right? So therefore, this whole idea that there must be a work, there must be a reward, so you have to tighten it and then pat somebody's back. We started from AKG now. This whole idea that work has to be rewarded and patted on the back is deeply, it's a tonic given from the age of 3. So we will behave only like that. And when we behave like that, when we grow up, when we get into an organization and start doing job, the risk aversion will pop up. Not everybody takes the same kind of risk. Some people take more risk, some people take less risk. So it all comes back in a kind of a pressure. So finally, work is no longer enjoyable. That is the situation in which the whole world is going. This is the current status. Now, let's now find out what Gita is saying. Because this is not the way. I mean, it is clicking for some people, it is clicking for some people, it throws some health problems, still you have to walk on the same path and all that. This is what is happening. There are a few people who are able to transgress all of them. I have seen them. There are many around us also. If you watch out, you will find out. For those people, work will not affect them. Work will not affect them at all. That is the ultimate message of Gita. Gita is not asking us to run away from work. Gita is not saying, oh, work has a lot of problem, therefore rewards are there, risk aversion is there, stress is coming, give up everything. No, Gita is not saying it. Gita is the most practical document I have seen for today's life. Therefore, it is not saying any of those. So the question is, what is Gita saying? That's the question now. So what I will do, so there are some questions which are there now. The first question is, what is that umbilical cord which connects work with joy? That has been cut now. Work and joy are at two different places. By accident, it gets connected for some people. Honestly, I have done survey year after year with my students. Some 200 students, 150 students take my course. I run a survey. And if you see the results, they are astonishing. They are working people. It's astonishing. They are communicating, sir, we are working, we are making enough money, promotions are happening, but I tell you, it is all stressful. Is work joyful? I will not think twice and tell you. So the question now in front of us is there an umbilical cord between work and joy? What is it? How are you going to reconnect it if it is cut already? This is one question, right? What is the umbilical cord that will ensure that work will lead to fulfillment? Joy, let joy be there. There is something called fulfillment. No? Apuryamanam achalapradishtam samudramapaha pravishanti yadvat. That's what Krishna says, 70th shloka in chapter 2. The greatest river, when it empties, Brahmaputra, or Nile, or Amazon, when it empties its all water into the sea doesn't even shake. Apuryamanam, achala pratishtam. There is no chalana. Krishna says you have to become like that. In Sita Prajna's last point, he makes that. He says, what is the sense of your fulfillment? You should not shake. That is called fulfillment. You should reach that stage that nothing around you should shake us. Today the problem is people put a photo on the website and then problem starts. How many people have put their thumbs up? I get stressed out for nonsense. How many people like it? What all the, are you living for you or living for somebody else? I do not know. Youngsters have all gotten into it. So a simple act of sharing a photo can lead to a great stress. We have lost this connection. Outside, 100 things can happen. You know, this Jackie Vasudev, Sadhguru Jackie Vasudev, he uses some nice words. He says there is something called content and context. He says content cannot be changed. If something happens, that is called content. You have no permission to change the content. These are all Ishwara Sankalpa. You have to walk, fall, or you have to see somebody, shout at him, or smile at him, or greet him. This is called content. But what is in your hands is context. Meaning, what are you going to make sense of it? Do you want to get depressed? Do you want to be happy? That's your choice. It has nothing to do with the content. The context is ours. The content we have no permission to touch. He used to say like that. So today, we have messed up between content and context. Work outcomes are all called content. Context is what is your, how do you approach the whole thing? That is the context that you can create for yourself, right? Now, this work and joy is so connected, we don't need a rocket science to understand that. I'm going to throw 4 or 5 examples, right? Parents attending to their child, that work is never drudgery. Never ever it can be a drudgery. If it is a drudgery, that's the end of the world. And I know it will never happen. That work is not boring. That work is not drudgery. That work does not require a getaway. Particularly the 2-year, terrible 2 or terrible 3, the pranks, that child has infinite energy. It's called thermodynamic sink. It comes continuously. I have never told any mother, particularly, occasionally the fathers also, they never said, I'm tired of this child. There is a work and joy is connected. I want you to ask, why is it happening? Nobody has said, I'm tired of this child. Nobody says that, right? Watching the India-Pakistan match, finals cricket match. Time goes just like that. If you are a cricket lover, otherwise it doesn't work. This is for an example of a cricket lover. I mean, it can be, a 6 hours match or 5 hours match. You don't even want to have your lunch break and all that. Thank God there is a lunch break. That's why you are having a lunch break. You don't need a lunch break. That work seems to have joy. I want you to ask why. Right? Prakriti Mata has wired something in us that every day we are supposed to revel in joy for 4 hours. Nobody can stop it. And that's called Sushupti. It's called deep sleep or sound sleep. You make any amount of sound, I will not get up. That's called sound sleep. In sound sleep, it is this 68 watts rapid charger for the cell phone now. This 4 hours sleep charges you for the next 20 hours. That's the ultimate joy you can have. You experience joy, you are not aware of it. Experience is different from awareness. That's why Shankaracharya in his Dakshinamurti says, Pratyabhijna. You have to get up. Pragaswapsamati prabodasamaye. Pragaswapta. I had a good sleep. Nobody can say I am having a good sound sleep. There is something wrong. They make a statement, we are taken from the Indian hands or somewhere. They say something like that. You should always say in past tense, I had a wonderful sleep. And how much energy we get. But that's the only one which we never bores us. In fact, if it is boring, we go there. If life is boring, we do an activity from birth to death every day, which is called deep sleep. Prakriti Mata has shown us that I have wired this experience to you. Learn from it. That when you have joy, it will be fulfilling. It will charge you like anything. So deep sleep, undisturbed deep sleep known as Sushupti is a classic example of work and joy going together. Nobody can contest this idea. Right? Reading your most favorite author's next book. Some people don't eat here, they keep on. So I was writing a textbook on operations management some 15 years back. One day I went to my office, evening at about 8:30 after my dinner, I told my wife, today I have some mood to write a chapter. I was writing the chapter, I saw the watch, it was 4:30 in the morning. One chapter I finished, one chapter on supply chain management I wrote in 5.5 hours. That's what happens when there is work and joy. If that work was not joyful, I would have yawned 100 times, I would have slept there, I come home and slept. Yes or no? This is what is happening to everyone. So you have your own examples. Point I'm making is that work and joy can go together is a matter of anubhuti, experience. It's not theory. I am not telling you theory. None of these you will refute. All of you will have this experience. Right? So work and joy is a reality. The only thing we don't know is we are not aware of it. We experience it, but we are not aware of it. Awareness is different from experience. If you experience ultimate joy with awareness, that is called samadhi. That's the difference between Sushupti and Turiya state. In Sushupti, you have experienced no awareness. Whereas if you go to the fourth state, Turiyam Chaturtam Manyante, in Rigveda they say, no? If you go to the fourth state, there you experience and you are aware also. That is the plus there. That's the difference in these 4 avastatraya, all the 4 avastas. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya. The difference between Sushupti and Turiya is only that much. You are also aware while you are experiencing. So, work and joy is a reality. We don't expect, we experience it, we don't realize it, or we have not seen what is connecting these. So, I will tell you a few connections with these 4 examples, which Gita has elaborated. You will find all the 4 has 2 things in common. First thing is, there is absolutely no performance metric in any of these jobs. I will give you an example. Let us say today instead of sleeping, night, you put on performance metric, I have to sleep 6 hours today. Your sleep will go, I'll tell you. Because you will keep looking at the watch, oh, already 7:30, I'm not getting sleep. Oh, 8:30, I'm not getting sleep. Then you will take one sleeping pill. Then you say, oh, I'm taking sleeping pill, I'm not getting sleep. At 2:33, out of sheer tiredness, you sleep for 2 hours. If you don't put this performance metric, you would have actually slept for 6 hours. So even the Sushupti you can spoil if you wish. All these we see, the first rule is the performance metric is not coming in the way. If you put performance metric, it will spoil you. This is the first message you have learned from this. Second message, how do I know I have work and joy? Simple rule. If 5-hour job looks like 5 minutes for you, that means work and joy has happened to you. All these belong to that category. I kept writing this book chapter, I looked at the watch, it was 4:30 in the morning. 8.5 hours gone just like half an hour for me. India-Pakistan cricket match, I was seeing, then I suddenly see the watch, it is already 4 hours. It's like 5 minutes. So the second rule for us to understand is, when work has lost the sense of, when you have lost the sense of time and space, right? That means work and joy are riding together. And it happens to us in our life. So Krishna has taken this idea very well into his Bhagavad Gita. So what I am going to do is I am going to show you 5 axioms of work that I have learned from Bhagavad Gita. Axiom, as you know, axiom is a very technical word. It is a governing principle or a theorem kind of a thing. So I have used specifically the word axiom. So I will put before you 5 axioms of work. If somebody can diligently first understand it, diligently follow it in whatever work they are in, there is a good chance that work and joy will start coming closer. Then it's a matter of time. So let us see what are those 5 axioms. Now all these are in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, in a span of 4-5 shlokas, and one of course is in chapter 2. Right? Just to tell you, Bhagavad Gita, I have said this many times also, Bhagavad Gita, the 18 chapters are so beautifully laid out in 3 compartments, first of all. Bhagavad Gita must be understood only in triplets. There's a triplet 1, triplet 2, triplet 3. There's such a beautiful structure to it. And what is that, these 3 triplets? There is this Mahavakya Tat Tvamasi. Udaharanartham. Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, Chaturmala, Mahavakyas are there. I am just taking Tat Tvamasi. Tat Tvam Asi. There are 3 parts to it. Tat means that. The English that came from Tat only. The Indo-European languages, Sma becomes smile, Vam becomes vomit, Vish becomes Visha. Enter. Vish means to enter. Pravesh. Vamati means vomits. Smayati means smiles. Sama means same. So actually this tat became that. Anyway. So that. Tvam means you. Right? Asi means become. You become that. This is the Mahavakya. So Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has the 3 triplets linked to Tattvamasi. The first triplet is about Tvam, about you. What is you? You are in the context of the world. That's why work-related ideas are in the first triplet. Because we are in the context of the world. Otherwise, I have no reference. In a very transactional plane that we are in, we are only to the extent of our connections. So how do I deal with myself? How do I deal with people around? How do I deal with the work? All these are part of first triplet. And the entire first triplet, of course, first chapter is the preamble. You can just take it out. Entire first triplet rides on one shloka. And that shloka is karma neva adhikaraha ma palesh karachana ma karma pala hetubhuhu mate sangastu karmani. This one shloka is explained throughout in the first six triplet in many ways. That's why karma yoga, karma sannyasa yoga, jnana karma sannyasa yoga, all those are related to how do you handle work. That's why that shloka comes. Second triplet is all about that. Tat padartha. Tat padartha is Lord. That's why it is about Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. That message we have to get. And again, there is only one shloka which is expanded throughout the 6 chapters. And what is the shloka? Matta paratram na kraniyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvavitam kautam sutre manigananiva. There is every speck of dust, everything that you have in this world is as though it is me. It's like I am the Sutradhari. I am an infinite length of the thread in which you can put beads, triangle, square, round, green, yellow, whatever. Matta paratram na anyat kinchidasti, not even a speck of dust other than me, to show that he goes up to Vibhuti and Vishwarupa. Then there is a third triplet which talks about how do you reach, and the only way you have to reach, Krishna gives it so beautifully in one shloka, 21st shloka and 13th chapter. He says, how do you take birth again and again? Karanam sangosya. Sat, asat, prakriti. There is this shloka. Prakriti and Purusha, they are Karanam Gunasangoya. They are bounded by a gum called Guna. See, this Prakriti and Purusha are stuck with a gum called Guna. If you dry the gum, Prakriti will separate from Purusha, that is liberation. So the entire third triplet is about 3 gunas only. This is how it is. So, why I said all these, in the first triplet you will find everything to do with transacting with this world. Let's see the first volume of this book also. It's all about that. What are all things you need to transact with this world? So that is where this is coming. So there are 5 axioms. So I will tell those 5 axioms and take the shlokas and explain to you a little bit. The first axiom is there is no state of no work. There is nothing like nobody can say I do no work. There is no state like that. In fact, I gave a TED talk. So the opening statement that TED talk was there is one company in Bangalore which said if you are willing to sleep for 9 hours for the next 6 months every day, I give you 1 lakh per month. So sleeping is also a work for which it is being paid. So this notion of no work is impossible. Krishna establishes that. I take the shlokas and I'm quickly telling the axioms, I will explain it. Second axiom is work is the only means for self-evolution. There is no other way you can self-evolve. Sanatana dharmasya mukhya uddesha esha asti ayam sarve vimuktaha bhaveyo. We have to liberate. Avidya mrityum ditva vidyaya amritamashnute. You have to cross the ocean of birth and death. But to cross the ocean of birth and death, first you have to know how to navigate the ocean. Right? So that vehicle is work. If you don't work, there is no evolution. I will come to the explanation of all that. If you take the first 2 axioms, there is a corollary which is coming out of it. First I said there is no notion of no work. Everybody will be doing work. Doing no work is a lot of work for others also. So work always happens. Then we say work is the only means of self-evolution. So there is a corollary of these 2. And what is that? Work is always superior to no work. There's a conclusion of these 2 axioms, which comes the third axiom. Karma jayo ya karma. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That's the third axiom. Then there's a 4th axiom, which says we have to focus only on the work. Karmanyeva adhikara. It's a beautiful shloka, grossly misunderstood and misinterpreted and so on. It's a very, very important shloka. Then there's a 5th shloka. It's an axiom which says work without what is in it for me, right, is completely liberating, superior and fulfilling. Yajñātam karma. Lokāna anyatra karma bandhana. What a powerful message he gives. Tatattam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samāja. We'll see those shlokas. So now I'll take you through the 5 axioms of what Because this is the principle of work. If you understand this principle of work and try it in our own ways, I will tell you, you will find a meaning to what you are doing. You will not find stress. Even if you get stress, you find a meaning to that. That's very important. Sometimes work can throw stress, but we should find even meaning to it. Then we have arrived. That is missing today. And Sri Krishna gives that. So let me take these 5 axioms one after the other. So the first axiom is available here. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit karyate hi avashah karma sarvaha prakriti jai gunaihi. It's a beautiful shloka. It's the 4th shloka in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. What is it saying? Kaschit kshanamapi. Not even a split moment. Not even a split moment. Jatuhu tishtati akarmakrit. Nobody, no living creature on earth can say, I will be without work even for a split second, is what he's saying. No, there's a context to it. See, Arjuna, what did he ask in Bhagavad Gita about preamble to Bhagavad Gita? He wanted to run away from the battlefield. That is the 46th shloka in chapter 1. He says, Aham ashastrapani, Datarashtaha shastrapani, Rane hanyuhu khematram bhaved. If they kill me, good. Warrior is talking like that. I have no weapons with me. All these fellows are having weapons. I think they should kill me. That's the end of it. So he said, I will avoid work and run away. And Krishna painstakingly telling him, if you run away after 1 hour, you will come back. Tomorrow you come. Why? Prakriti jai gunaihi. Your Prakriti will not leave you here. If you have a certain Prakriti, you end up. I have seen a lot of people. They have a habit of shouting in the meetings. So they will make, tomorrow I will not shout in the meeting. So they will come and sit in the meeting. Instead of first 30 seconds, it will be 40 seconds. Maybe 50 seconds with their little yoga or something, 1 minute. What I am saying, Prakriti jai gunaihi. Every one of us are driven by a certain Prakriti. That Prakriti will make us. That's why he says, he avashaha. Vasha means control. Avasha means yoga. It is not in your control here. See, people, Nuchu Swami will say, people will draw a dog with a thread. Dog does not need the thread, only you need the thread. Because you will lose the dog. Dog does not need a thread, you leave it, it will go. In the same way, work does not need you, use him to need the work. You are no control. Krishna says, you are Prakriti. See, there is one Stafford Beer. It's a great over scientist. I am a over researcher actually. He's a great over scientist, Canadian, by name Stafford Beer. He wrote a paper for the Satabhishekam of Bellman Newman, who wrote what is called dynamic programming. For his 81st birthday, he wrote a paper. And that paper was titled Locus Sukhino Bhavantu. And it appeared in a top OR journal called Interfaces in 1994. I distinctly remember this paper even today. Locus Sukhino Bhavantu. That's the title of the paper. In that paper, he quotes 27 shloka of chapter 3. Right? Kartaranti manye, ahankara moodatma kartaranti manyate. There is one shloka, 27 shloka in chapter 3. Sorry, he gives such a beautiful example. He says that Stafford Beer says, every day I am driving my car, I am crossing my ranch is there. My neighbor's ranch I am crossing. Every day when I cross my neighbor's ranch, that dog will bark like mad. Then he says, this poor dog thinks it is doing its job. Poor dog is thinking it is doing his job as though he is chasing some thief. It's Prakriti to bark. He doesn't know. He gives such examples. He quotes chapter Shloka 27 of chapter 3, that in this same chapter. So what is he saying? First of all, to think I won't do any work is a foolish idea. You have a nature, you may postpone it, with twice the river you will come back. People say I will fast for Sunday. Remaining 6 days they will square it up. 1 day fast will be damaged with twice the vigor. So when you are naturally in a position of fasting, you should fast. Because Prakriti is there, no? The gunas are generated out of Prakriti. So to think that we will not do work, I will sit without work, exactly half an hour, maybe 1 hour, 2 days, 3 days, 1 month. Twice the rigor will come and then get the average out of it. Overdo it and then cancel out and come to the average again. So the first thing we should understand is there is no state of no work. Now you may ask, sir, why is this important? It is important because then you will start asking, okay, now work is impossible to start. Let me now find out how to do work. That motivation will come only when you agree to this. First, you should agree that there is nothing like no work. Now your question will ask, okay, then now tell me how to do work. So that is why the first axiom is important. Let us go to the second axiom. It's a beautiful axiom. The previous shloka, fourth shloka in chapter 3. Na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmam purusho shrute nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Beautiful shloka. He says, na karmanam, without starting the word, what is all this naishkarmya? Naishkarmya is not giving up everything and running. People have all wrong interpretation of Sanskrit words. Naishkarmya, or it is not dropping work and the work should drop you. You should not drop work because there is a certain prakriti. Previous shloka has just now said you have certain prakriti. So if that prakriti morphs, if the prakriti changes, the prakriti will drop the work. This is the most important thing, which means while there is a constant program in us to change our prakriti, that let it happen. But whatever is the prakriti, that anusarena asmabhi karyam kartavyam. So, na karmanam anarambha. If you don't start the work, I'll take simple examples. Let's say I don't know how to make decoction, coffee decoction. Now, the best way to get to know is I should start. I can't sit by the side of the swimming pool and read 50,000 pages on swimming. I can read up to a point. I have to first get into the pool. What? Please understand, this simple example is telling us, see, if let us say I start making decoction. After a month, my decoction will become better. First day, you will have to, that's why in Tamil, there is one Meenakshi Ammal. She only said cook and see. She never said cook and eat. The book was titled Samaitha Par. It's a profound book. It's a Bible for all of us. When I got married to my wife, first thing I did, day one, I went and bought 3 volumes of Samaitha Par and gave it to her. She is eternally grateful to me because today, ever anything, sometimes she does very well, but once in a while she sort of required. There she titled as Samaitha Par. You cook and see whether you can eat. You can't put sambar powder and throw water and sambar will never come. But if I try like that, in 1 month I get sambar. Is it not? All of us have our own. Same is true of me as a professor also. First day I remember how I went to the class in 28th August 1991. I still remember how I walked into the class and what happened to me. Experience is very, very important. So karmanam anarambha. So now understand. Now what is Krishna saying? Work is not for promotion. We think we are doing work for the sake of promotion, increments. No. The student thinks I have to work because I get first rank. No. You do work because that gives you a better idea of what you are doing. Work is for self-evolution. Not for. All these will come. They are all there. But today we think that is the only thing. They are the sub-bullets. They are not the main bullet. The main bullet is work is the only means by which you will self-evolve. I give you a shining example. The first match which Sunil Gavaskar played, because in some of our generation, there is the only example I can give. In the first match he played in Oval in 1970, he hit a century. Sunil Gavaskar. In that calendar year, he got 1,000 runs. I have not seen the first match because TVs came in 73 in this country. So after that, I have seen some matches. But I have seen this Sunil Gavaskar. He started as though for him, cricket is all about making more runs, etc., like that. But I saw his last match in Oval in 1990 in the Doordarshan. That Sunil Gavaskar is very different. For him, cricket is a philosophy. He was so detached. You could make out. This is what happens to somebody who pursues work diligently. Please, you go through work, it will evolve you. You will be so happy to see the same work I am doing very differently. It applies in a kitchen, it applies in a temple, it applies in a cricket ground, it applies in a corporate office, it applies in a classroom, whatever it is. That is what he is saying. Na karmanam anarambhat purushaha naishkarmyam na ashnute. And what is naishkarmya? Naishkarmya means that what is the sense of evolution? I have distanced myself from the performance method. Organization will put performance, but it is their job. Let them do it. Why am I bothered? Let them bother. Today we are bothering. I am only telling you, you don't bother here, do your work. Enjoy doing your work. Let anything happen. That will happen when we work with this attitude. After 10 years, 20 years, you are a very refined person. That means, oh, it's called grey matter, no? They say, I have got some grey matter. What does it mean? Chalta hai, let things happen. I know how to do work. Performance may come and go. That's okay. The sooner people understand it, better for them. I want youngsters to understand it, not at the age of 50. You have lost an opportunity of work joy. We have to cultivate that habit. We have to tell our youngsters that is what Krishna has said. That Naishkarmya means I will do work. What will happen? Results will come. I will not bother. I mean, momentarily I have a little bit of ups and downs. That all is okay. That's a part of life. You can have emotions, but don't be very emotional. Emotional means carrying it for days and months. We all have emotions. But you should be able to sleep one good sleep and one food that should change you. These are the only two things required to change your mood. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ everything will change. No, that's a prakriti. I'm telling you, that's a prakriti. Wherever you go, it will change your mood. One food or one sleep or put both of them put together is even better. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅದರಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. So that's called Naishkarmya. Work and work and work. See, then you will start seeing the joy of work. Today, all the time worried about will I get a promotion? This fellow is working better than me. He has gone faster than me. What nonsense is this? And you work for yourself. Why are you worried about people around? Let's say don't put a photo and then anxiously wait whether how many hands have gone up. That's a terrible way of living. Another terrible way of living, I will tell you. If you want to take a walk, please take a walk. Don't put a watch and see how many steps. The whole joy of walking is gone. Oh, half the people are doing that nonsense now. First remove it, leave it in your house and then walk. What is this? Walking is a joy. You will become healthy only when you have joy, not when you have watch and say, oh, 5,500 steps. I have done only 3,280 today. Finished. The day is gone. The very purpose for is walking, you will take 2 steps backward. These are all Westerners have taught us. You should throw all the gadgets out. I have stopped wearing watch for the last 20 years. I become more time conscious after I remove the watch. I don't need a watch to know the time. I just removed it. These gadgets can only make you very conscious of things which you ought not to be conscious. Are you seeing your watch when you are sleeping? When you start seeing your watch, just now I told you you will not get sleep. So nasanyasanadeva. So just dropping work, you will not get siddhi. It's not about dropping. Work should drop you. What drops you means performance metrics drops. Such people work with twice their rigor. Nothing happens to them. They keep working. They keep on working. Nothing happens to them because they have taken performance metrics out of their mind. Organization measures let them measure. So I keep telling some youngsters, don't take up the phone on Sunday. What will happen, sir? They will fire. First fire will be a shock for you. Fourth time you get fired, you have got strength in you. Don't worry. Don't take the phone. Yeah, nothing will happen. What do you think? Heaven will never fall. They will see your true value and say, oh, this guy works for 5 days solid and then he puts his work 6th and 7th day, he will not do anything. If he fires that organization is not where you should be working. You should go to the next organization. So 2-3 times when you get fired, you get comfort. I keep telling. I'm seriously telling. It's not even a joke. I tell them like that. Otherwise, it's just not going to. You will never outgrow that. You have to outgrow. That's what Krishna is asking. Please outgrow this performance metric. It will finish you. Westerners' biggest gift to us is performance metric. It will just finish you. When you keep it, actually you work better also. That is what my own little experience of my own personal working is also like that. I have least bothered about these performance matters. I keep doing whatever I want to do. Generally, God has been kind to me. I've been able to do a few things. And I think that is because of this thought. So this is the second axiom. Then comes the corollary of the first two. That comes in the next sloka, little 2 slokas down. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hi akarma. Therefore, my dear friend, niyatam karma. Every one of us are supposed to contribute to the society in a particular way. Niyatam karma means ordained work. Each one of us, this is a Mahayajna that is going on. This is Bhagavad Leela. It's a great yajna going on. All of us have to put our ahuti there. That is the approach to work. There is ahuti that I also have to put. That's my niyatam karma. Niyatam karma kuru tvam. Why? Because just now I told you, karma jayohi akarma ka. By not doing work, you will only spoil yourself. An idle mind is devil's workshop. Get to your prakriti drives you. And what needs to be done, you are supposed, God has brought you here for a reason. God is an extraordinarily complex creature you can ever think of. For these cell phones and 500 engineers will work 1 million hours and come with a lousy, you know, cell phone. Whereas your body, just now a doctor came to my house 2 days back, he was with me. He told me, sir, our body does dialysis 180 times a day. And every medical information I get, I spin into highest level of spirituality. I keep saying this curvature in the toe, if it is slightly less, you will fall. I don't know what R&D went behind, who created this, who tested it before putting it down here. God has created a very complex world and given us an opportunity to do the ahuti. Understand work like that. Every work, at home, at office, samaja, wherever it is. We are doing an ahuti. Don't mess it with that. Understand there is a great thing that we are doing. Niyatam karma kurutvam. Karma jayohi akarma. What is superior to no work? Because by doing that work, you will only self-evolve. You will get reinforced. There is no notion of no work, etc., etc. That is the way to go forward. Right? And he gives an example. Sharira yatrapitadena prasiddhi akarmana. Akarmana. If you lie without shaking your body, bed sore will come. It is only 1 month. Maybe if you don't have water bed or air bed, it is even faster. So Sharira Yatra, even to maintain this body, you have to do some minimum work. No? You have to wash, you have to get up, you have to sit down, walk a little bit, have a little bit of food, whatever it is. He gives a simple example like that. What he's saying is, why he gave this example? Because please understand, there are these 3 axioms of body. The 3 axioms are, the body is not mine, the body is not for me, okay? I am not the body. These are the 3 axioms. The first axiom is I am not the body. That's the easiest to understand also. How do you understand? You check your English, you say my hand. When I say my mobile, I am different from the mobile. That's why I use the word my. In English, you use my when you are not that. The moment you say my hand is paining, you already acknowledge your hand is not yours, no? That way you should be saying I am paining. My stomach is paining. That means stomach is not yours. It's a little easy. I want you to think closely about it. The word my is used, right, when something is external to you and you claim temporary ownership. That is called my. So I am not the body is easy, right? The body is not mine. Please understand there is a panchikaranam which has happened. The body is not yours. The Prakriti did a panchikarana and brought it. Panchabhutas have made up this body. That's why in our culture, you have to put it back properly. When a person is gone back, the body is offered as an ahuti in that yajna. Nowadays, people, how many of you will give an ahuti with the food that you cook 3 days before? That's what we are doing today. My son has to come, my daughter has to come 3 days, they keep the body, and after 3, that final yatra is an yajna, if you know the mantras. And we are doing after 3 days. And you may say, sir, why should I give it immediately? I borrowed this book from him. How should I give back the book? Should I tear it into all and make it dirty and give it to him? No. I will try to keep it. Even if it is slightly not good, I put a cover and give it to him. So that it looks good, na? So you have to give this body to the Prakriti. It's not yours. It's leased temporarily for this Janma. So body is not mine. The body is not for me. Paropakaramidam sharira. That is why he uses the word Sharira Yatrapi. This Sharira, which is just an Upadana Karana, it is an instrumental cause for this Atman to go through this Janma. Even to maintain it, you have to do some work. It is not even yours, it is not you. Even for that, you have to do some work. So we have to always keep doing work. What is superior to no work? There is no state of no work. Work only self-evolves. So Krishna first establishes these 3 axioms of work. if some people, if we are able to, I want you to reflect on it. Don't take what I say. I want you to reflect on it. Go back to these shlokas. These are all shloka 4, 5, 8 in chapter 3. You are not even have to go all over the place. 3.5, 3.4, 3.8. I have used only 3 shlokas. I want you to deeply reflect on it. If you reflect on it, then you will be ready to say, sir, please tell me how to do work now. I have now understood work is very important. Work is inevitable. Work will only self-evolve. Now tell me how to do work. I understand the importance of that. That we have to work until I drop this body. Therefore, I am on the right framework for working. That comes the next question. So the next axiom brings us that idea, which is a very important axiom. And what is that axiom? Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala heturbhuhu ma te sangastu akarmani. There are 4 padas in this shloka. In other words, Krishna has put 4 conditions now. He is now, you are ready to now listen how to do work. So Krishna is also ready to tell you how to do work. So he has put 4 elements of this, how to do work. First thing is that karmani eva adhikaraha te. So the adhikara, the word adhi, the adhi is upasarga. The adhi upasarga in Sanskrit says either substratum or locus of control. These are all the meaning of that. So you, each one of us have a locus of control only on the work. How to do the work only I have control. What will come out of it I have no control. I want you to first understand this. Some work has to be done. All that you can bring 100% is how to do the work. That is all with you. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. It seems to be reasonable, so people will generally nod their heads. But then comes the second condition he brings. Ma paleshu kadachana. Kadachana means, in Tamil they say orupodum, never. Never ever. Kadachana means never ever. Never ever you have the locus of control on the fruits of the action. This is where the biggest challenge for us. Today we are completely trained from LKG that I have to put the work and thumb the desk and ask for result. This is what the Western mind has actually developed us. I have put the, it's my right. They use the word right. This culture is not about right. This culture is about duty. Right and all is rubbing wrong sides actually. You can't have a right society. There are terribly bad societies. Duty societies are good societies. We all have a duty. Karmanyeva adhikaraha. Ma paleshu kadachana. Never ever you have the adhikara on pala. Now, many people don't know, sir, that's not possible. They're asking me to work without results. So we'll come to that, we'll answer those questions a little later. I'm now saying, what is it saying? Krishna says, you have no control on results. Now, if you ask me, sir, are you telling me I should not without results? I'll answer that a little later. Just wait, we finish this shloka and then come back. Then he puts the third condition, which is even more tougher. Ma karma pala hetuhu. It's not only the fruit, even the source of the fruit. From where is this fruit coming? That also you have no control. Not only on the fruits, but also you don't have a control on where from the fruits are coming. You don't even have control on it. Now, if you put these 3 conditions, then people will say, sir, in that case, I will pass. I don't want to, your conditions are too stringent. Krishna wanted to seal that opportunity also. So the last condition is that Ma te sangastu akarani. You cannot remain in the society in sangha. You cannot remain in sangha without work, which is already established in the other axioms anyway. But here you have no escape clause. So this is a grand shloka. This shloka establishes what is called karma yoga. This is the crux of karma yoga. What does it say? It says you have complete control on your work. You have no control on results. You have no control on where from the results are coming. You have no choice to run away from work. These are the 4 conditions in this shloka. Now I will take a very simple example so that you understand there is truth in this shloka. Suppose I want to get out of IIM Bangalore, there is a bus stop in front of IIM, Apollo Hospital bus stop is there. We'll take a simple example, such a simple example. I want to cross this road and catch 360 and go to Majestic. I can tell you there are 100 reasons why you will not catch the bus. You will put the effort. I tell you a few possibilities. You came out, you could not cross because there was so much of traffic. Finally, the bus went. Or you crossed half, you are in the center median. Before you cross the other side, the bus has gone. This is another possibility. There's a third possibility, you crossed, but then there was 10 people, 20 people, and you could not exercise your muscle power. 5 people got up, so the bus went away. Fourth possibility, I mean, this happens in DTDC, Delhi. I have experienced it in Delhi. That fellow will not even stop. You are waiting there for 10 minutes. He will not even stop. I don't know why. He won't stop. It is his mode. So for a simple act of taking a bus and going to 2 bus stops, you have no control on the results. Please understand. I am taking a very simple example. I want you to reflect on these simple ideas. Simple idea that I want to cross and go to the other side, take a bus and get down 3 bus stops later is an impossible task. Meaning impossible in the sense there is no guarantee it will happen. Your adhikara is not on the pala. What is your pala? Your pala is to catch the bus and get down 5 minutes later. In fact, that I can go on this story. 5 minutes you want to get down. You got the bus from Apollo. You came out to Kalyani Kalamudira. There is a traffic jam. Half an hour to katham. So why you wanted to go is all gone. You think about it. This is reality. It's not pessimism. So to think that I have put effort, therefore results are mine and all. It's a good idea, but don't overdo it. It's a good way to start. That's the LKG of life. But some people die with that LKG. That's not a good idea. That's just an LKG of life. And you start there. There is nothing wrong. But very soon get into the wisdom of life. Put your effort. You have complete control on the effort. Put your effort. Just let us see what happens. That's why in this country we say Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kimartam Trivaram Vayam Vadamaha. Simple. Whatever obstructions that can come to you can be Adi Devikam, Adhyatmikam, Adi Bhautikam. It can happen. People studied and then studied very well. They want to go to the exam. Today morning, 103 fever. It's called Adhyatmikam. What do I do? Or, I develop some loose motion, something. I can't even get out of my bed. It's nothing in your hands. You put a lot of effort. I don't want that to happen. I'm just giving an example. Or, if you are in Kerala, you start and then in Kerala, there is a district hartal, there is an area locality hartal also. There's no guarantee you can go anywhere in Kerala, I'll tell you. I have lived there for 2 years as Vice Chancellor. I found everything of this Kerala. All kinds of hartal every day. It's impossible to run an institution there. Because half the students will not come. They say, sir, hartal, sir, we could not come and so on. Right? Or Adi Bhautikam, there can be a cloud burst, there is an earthquake. Can't do anything. I say Adi Devikam, there's Adi Devikam. Adi Bhautikam, your next door neighbor will come. You want to catch a train, this fellow talks a Ramayana with you and the train is gone. For some reason, you are such a soft nature, you are not able to say, no, I have to go. Nobody knows what happens in life when we engage in activities. That's why we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We say, oh, everything is there, please do something about it. So this idea that work will lead to outcome and therefore I can thump my test and say, I put my effort, I should get. And all nice ways to start. You have to develop wisdom. Krishna says, Ma pala hetu bhuho, ma paleshu kadachana. I'll give you another example. Swami Dayananda Saraswati gave a fantastic example which I remember. There was a baseball match between New Jersey and Chicago or some such thing. Finals for the cup. In US it's a very big thing now. So the finals is going on. 90 seconds remaining. Both the teams are evenly passed 88 points or something. 90 seconds remaining. There's a wonderful player. He is known for shooting from the outer ring straight into the basket. 3 points. He is very effortlessly he will do. So Swami Dayananda give this example. This man is waiting there to shoot. He had a mosquito bite. What are you going to do now? All your efforts. That split second, your concentration is gone and everything was over. Right? There was an Arthur Ashe. These examples I never forget. There was an African American named Arthur Ashe, tennis player. He's such a nice person. And very nice person. He has gone to Grand Slam up to finals and all that. One day, New York Times called him, evening, and said, "We know that you have got AIDS. Tomorrow morning, we are publishing it in the paper." Okay? You know what Arthur Ashe did? Actually, he got AIDS because of a wrong blood transfusion which happened to him. He's a very clean, happy person, nice man. So what he did, evening he wrote in his whatever his blog, whatever it is, he said, "I have got AIDS because of a transfusion." He wanted to shortchange the New York Times story. He wrote that I got AIDS. He has such a fan following. Number of people ask, "Why you?" This was flooded with replies, "Why you?" You know what was the answer he gave? He is a Vedantin. You know what he said? He explained how you will reach number one of Grand Slam. He said at circuit level you will be 1 in 128,000, then you go to 1 in 64,000, 1 in 32,000, etc., etc., etc. Grand Slam is 1 in, semi-final is 1 in 2, quarter-final is 1 in 4, 8, etc., etc. He said, when all these happen, I never asked why you. I will not ask you. This is the answer he gave. When good things happen to me, I never asked why you. When this bad thing happened, I will not ask why you. He is a karma yogi. He has understood life. That's what it is. We don't know why things happen to us. So to break our head, a lot of people have this habit of breaking their head. Why did it happen to me? The surest way of destroying your vyaktitva. Please don't do it. It takes you nowhere. It only makes it more complicated. Things happen because God has put a clock. That's why I said, remember every moment is a ahuti that you are giving. If you take that approach, this shloka comes very handy. Right? Huh? Do the work. Lessons will come. All that kind of a thing. So I can go on explaining why fruits of action and action is no way connected with you. We don't know where is the connection. There is some connection somewhere. I don't even know. Don't waste your time trying to find out. I keep telling people, best thing that you should do is not to ask. Every moment, so many things happen. As I step out of this, what will happen to me? I do not know. Every moment, something happens. Rather than trying to find out why is it happening, good or bad, rather than trying to find out why is it happening, understand that's a prasada that you have got. Every moment is God's prasada. God is a sarvajna. He brought you for a reason. You don't know. Don't waste your time. You don't know what for He brought here in this room today. I also don't know. Right? You have to take life like that. If you do that, then you will separate the work and the performance. You will continue to do work. If you take performance, people ask me, "Sir, if you take performance out of your mind, you will not work." I say, dreamers are different from doers. Don't keep dreaming. Try and find out. In fact, I have told people, and they have come back and told me, I have told you have a vice-like grip on the work and performance. I am not even asking you to leave it. Loosen it. You will find your work beautifully changing. And they have come back and said, "Sir, what you said is 100%. I said, "I didn't tell." Krishna said, "I am only a mouthpiece." Try to distance from the work and the performance linkage which somebody is creating. You say, in Tamil, Ramalinga Adigalar say, "En kadan pani seiyithu kidappai." My job is to keep doing work. There's a great 17th century saint in Tamil Nadu, Ramalinga Adigalar. He says, "En kadan pani seiyithu kidappade." My job is to keep doing work. Period. There is no comma there. It's a full stop. That is the approach to life. Whether at home, I am telling you, this is not only for office working. It is for students. It is for housewives. It is for a priest. It is for somebody who does social work somewhere. It is for non-profit organization like Vyoma, for everyone. Because that will restore the joy for us. That is the only mantra of restoring joy from what otherwise what will kill you. You'll be so tense, whether it is studying, whether it is writing an exam. In fact, people come to me counseling for exam. I keep the IIT entrance exam, CAT exam. The only advice I give them is put your best foot forward. But then take your hands out of everything and then thoroughly enjoy when you go for the 3 hours. So what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is simple. The way I will define Karma Yoga based on these. What is Karma Yoga? I am part of a situation. I am also part of a situation. It may be office, it may be home, it may be an exam, it may be whatever. I have a role to play. I must act. I must put the best foot forward and leave it. Rest are all God's creation. What He has to give, He will give. He will give. If we develop that mindset, we are a great Karma Yogi. That is called Naishkarmya. That is the state of Naishkarmya. A state in which work does not bother you anymore. We should all aspire for it. I should aspire for a situation in which work is not bothering me anymore. The biggest botheration for many of us, work is bothering me. Even if I make upma, I think, oh, there's more salt. When somebody says upma is not good, and there's no point in doing work like that. It's not worth that. That's not the way it is going to work. So that is what this shloka is actually saying. That karmanyeva adhikaraha ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala hetu bhuhu ma te sangastva karmani. Then comes the... So there are a lot of questions. This can be very objectively understood. Don't take it just like that. I want to think through it. Every one of you youngsters, everybody must think about it. Whenever a particular work you have done and you feel that you have not got commensurate to your effort, these are the questions you should ask. Did you create the circumstances all by yourself? Nobody can create everything by yourself. So many people are involved in something happening. Of course, you might have played a slightly bigger role, smaller role, etc., etc. Did you single-handedly orchestrate everything to perfect finish? Where are your associates? Where are your subordinates? Where are your friends and partners, etc., etc.? It's very important, right? Do you know the source of success? Do you have control? We don't even know where is the source of success. We have no control of it. So if you repeatedly think about all that, how much of outside world you can control? You can't even control yourself here. That's our problem. We are in 101 of that problem. We can't control ourselves. For every smallest thing, we get dejected, we get upset, we get angry. You first control yourself. Let's talk about your fruits are somewhere. We'll talk about it later. You control yourself first. We don't even know how to control ourselves. You are talking about controlling something else. So objectively, you understand this. If you objectively understand this, you will develop a certain udasina for not work, for the profound outcome measure. And the outcome, quality of outcome will improve. Automatically it will improve. Okay. Now, to saying that things are not under our control, Sri Krishna has a beautiful shloka in chapter 18. It's a wonderful shloka about shloka. This is a great management concept. So now the question is, how does work happen? You say, sir, control work, your fruits are not in your control, this happens, that happens, they're all getting too difficult. Give me a neat framework. Krishna gave a neat framework in shloka 14 of chapter 18. He said, Adhishtanam tata karta, karanam cha pratak vidam, right? Vividasta pratak cheshtaha daivam chaivatra panchamo. Krishna has said, work that happens anywhere, any type of work. These are all, the generalization of Indian knowledge system is so good that you can apply it anywhere. This can be applied to any type of work anywhere. He says, if a work is set to be accomplished, it requires 5 elements. That's what he's saying. And what are the 5 elements? Adhishtanam. First you need, in organizational terms, if somebody has to run a project, he needs a mandate. He needs the support of the top management. Fund is required. Control is required. Only then it will happen. No? That is called adhisthana. You need a substratum to do the work. Somebody must say, this is what we have to do. I am empowering you to do the work. I want you to deliver the result. This is the first starting point. So for every work, there is an adhisthana. Okay. Then karta. Karta means not me alone. I may be the CEO. I may be the project champion. I may be the friend. So it means I and all the other people whom I am inspiring and leading. That's called karta. What gets done for which you need karta. That's the second element of any work. So if it is a student, and the student's adhishtanam is the exam. The student is the karta. he or she has to read to get the marks. So that's a karta, right? So you are the karta now, right? Then karanam cha pratakvidam. You need different gadgets for any work. Karanam, you know, Panini beautifully says in his sutra, sadhakatamam karanam, right? The work gets better only with something that is called karna. So to do any work, we need some gadgets. Students may need, some book, some guide, or some such thing, or some notes, or like that. Every work requires, in the kitchen, we need a mixie, we need a grinder. These are instruments, no? That makes the work better. So the third element to accomplish work is called karanam. किमर्थम् इत्युक्ते साधकतमं करणं तस्मात् यदि साधकस्य उत्तमस्थितिः अस्माभिः प्राप्तव्यं करणम् अत्यावश्यकं भवति. That's why you need karana. That's the third element. It takes it to the height of the work gets done better. So Krishna says that's the third element. Then he says, Vividasya prutak cheshta. Cheshta, the way you can translate cheshta is a process. So in an organization, business process, they say. You need different business processes. Right? If you have to do a kumbhavsheka, there are a set of processes. Everything is process driven. If a doctor has to perform a surgery, there is a process involved. There are standard operating procedures, there are things to be done. Every work requires process. You may formally write it, not write it, but process are there. Vividasya pratak cheshtaha, they are pratak. Different processes are involved in getting something done. Right? So that is the fourth element. Now comes the real story. He says, Daivam cha panchama. After you do all these, somebody from the top will roll the dice. That's where your results will happen in a particular way. Right? You put all your effort. See, all these four are in our hands. Karmanyeva adhikara. The pala is coming from Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. The fifth element is called Daivam. Daivam has a lot of different meanings. One meaning of Daivam is fate. One meaning of Daivam is the God. One meaning of Daivam is some natural forces and so on. The point is that these mere four elements does not complete the work. Because work is completed with the outcome. The quality of the outcome is a function of the dice somebody is rolling from the top. That is called Daivam. Daivam cha artha pancham. What it means is that since there is a fifth element without which this work is not completed and which is not in your control anyway, then why are you bothered? I mean, it is absolute nonsense to bother about something which is not in my control. I mean, that's not making any sense, no? I should bother about only what is in my control. How can I bother about things which is not in my control? I should only bother about what is in my control. So the outcome has the fifth element only when you add it to what is supposedly to be completed, and that comes outside of you. Therefore, it means you put your best effort, you pray. There's no harm in praying. Please pray. Praying is very important. In fact, I keep reciting, I keep giving this example. See, one of my co-employee in IAM, she was narrating some story to me. After I heard it, I said, you have a lot of Deva Anugraha. She says, what do you mean? So I explained to her what it is. See, she has two daughters. And both of them were married. The first daughter is in Chennai. She was narrating all this. So she is only working, her husband was not working, she was only working person at that point in time. So she brings the money for the family. So the first daughter's second confinement, childbirth, she said, I cannot come, I cannot take that much leave. Appa will come, nice money, also very nice part. Appa will be with you for about 2 months, 1.5 months, whatever it is. I come for a week. During that time, I'll definitely, first 10 days, I will definitely, mother is very important. She said, fine. So she went. Sukha Prasava, everything happened. After a week or so, she's telling all this to me. She came back. After that, she's alone at home now in Bangalore because she's attending the home. This man is with the daughter, helping her whatever ways he can help. He said, sir, today morning I went and saw her a few days later. I heard about this. I like her so much. I just go and see her. Sir, today morning, 5:45, as I was taking the bucket, going to early morning, you clean the front and put rangoli, na? He said, I carried the bucket and opened the door of my main gate. The rubber mat, I slipped. I fell. With the weight, na, bucket fell, so I think she must have. So she had a fracture. In 10 minutes, the husband arrived to take her to the hospital. She narrated that. I said, you have a lot of Deva Anugraha. He said, sir, what does it mean? I said, this is the purest way to understand Deva Anugraha. I said, imagine if this happened when 25 days before. Your husband will rush from Chennai. He usually has no help to her. You would have first few 4 hours, you have to rely on your neighbor, first floor, ground floor, something to take you to the hospital. So your falling is for sure. But what did God do? He arranged everything to you properly. This is called Deva Anugraha. So that's why that's the value of prayer. We should pray. Because we all carry what is called prarabdha in a bag. This body is manufactured out of prarabdha. We have to, which means if I have fractured my left hand on a particular day, no discounts there. They are not, the Sanatana Dharma is not like a politician. You can give speed money, get a discount, all those, nothing happens. If I have to fracture my left hand, I have to fracture my left hand on that particular day at that moment. But the question you can ask is, can be made in a way which is the most comfortable way of doing? That means life is worthwhile. So, Daiva is very important. So my students ask me, sir, this Daivam and all is, no sir, I can't understand. So I give them examples from management. I ask them what time Vrindavan Express, Vande Bharat arrives. Vrindavan is an old example, let me take Vande Bharat. What time the Vande Bharat arrives from Chennai? Sir, 10:10. What time did it arrive today? Sir, 10:12. What time did it arrive? Can you tell me what time will arrive tomorrow? You can't tell. Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell. There is this old joke. One fellow was in Nagpur station. Nagpur. He wanted to catch Grand Trunk Express to go to Delhi. So he asked the station master, sir, what time the train will come? Is the train supposed now 2:30? Generally it comes half an hour late. Minimum. Come at 3 o'clock here. So this fellow came at 3 o'clock. As he came, there was a GT which was in full speed, picked up speed. So he went to station master and shouted at him. He said, that is yesterday's train. Then this fellow asked, what for is this timetable? He said, the timetable is tell you when it is supposed to come. So Vande Bharat can, if everything can go well, Vande Bharat can arrive at 10:10. So I said, in management, we have factored Daivam. In all management decision making, how? There is something called probability. Probability is a mathematical connotation of Daivam. There is a 20% probability, some will say, what does it mean? Daivam is rolling the dice 20 times, remaining 80 times it says no. So I use those examples to tell them that this is real. I want you to understand nothing is in your hand. Don't feel helpless, feel strengthened. Oh, nothing is in my hands, then I put my best foot and then I happy, jolly well go. That is what Krishna is saying. That is the real principle of finding joy in always what is so problematic. I don't know what is the time, I keep on going. Should I stop somewhere? Another 2-3 minutes. Last axiom I will say and then we'll finish it. So comes the last axiom of work, which is the 9th shloka in chapter 3. It says, Yajnartam karmanaha, anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. These use strong words. Anyatra. Lokaha, I am karma bandhanaha. What will bind you in all anyatra? This is like in a set theory, you have A and A dash. Right? In set theory, you say A and A dash, no? So, anyatra means A dash. All things other than this. In Venn diagram, you shade everything outside A, no? It's called A dash, right? So, yajnartam karmanaha. Do karma with the spirit of yajna. Anyatra karma bandhanaha. If you don't do work with the spirit of yajna, the work will bind you. Bind you means what? You will get upset, you will get tossed up, you feel unhappy, you think what I have done is not enough, I have not been rewarded. I mean, 100 things can take you out. If you do work with yajna, that means tadartam karma kaunte. In the second line, he explains what is that. Therefore, for that reason, karma he kaunteya, tadartam karma kaunteya, mukta sangha samachara. From that sangha, that connection with results, take yourself. You are a free bird now. You do work, take whatever comes with folded hands, Bhagavad Prasada, take it. That life you will find joy. And that is known only to a few. That is known to those who believed in Gita, who contemplated on these shlokas, who did manana of that, tried it in a small way. I'm not even asking you to jump tomorrow morning. I always tell them, don't do it. That's not a good way. Everything you have to ramp up and ramp down. So try small experiments. You'll have your own fear, you will not have self-belief, because jnana is different from vijnana. Jnana is just theory. Vijnana is anubhuti. So give that opportunity. Try. You distant. I give these experiments. These are experiments my students do in my class. They come and report. Dramatically, some of them write beautiful reports. They say, I ask them to do 1 week something where work and results are distanced. And then I ask them to report what did they go through. So they faithfully say, first 2 days I was like, he has read all that. He helps me with those corrections and so on sometimes. They really come and say, I found something there. We all must find that. This work is inevitable. Work is for self-evolution. What will give us joy and what will take us to where we have to go. I think these few words, I will stop here. I have taken too long a time. Bear with me for that. I will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Complete. What of
Ram Ram, thank you so much for this wonderful talk. I feel like the Vijnana, we got some knowledge. Now it is to be quiet and contemplate on what we have heard. And hopefully, we need to practice, especially younger generation. Our turn is all done. We have worked. I don't know how we worked, but it has been done. So thank you for the excellent talk. Please keep coming every year or every 6 months, however the time allows you. And I'm also thankful for Vyoma brothers for being the backbone of this kind of knowledge. And thank you for everybody here making it to the program. And thank you once again.
Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. On behalf of all of us here, I thank Professor Mahadevan and Karthik Mahodaya and all of you here who have graced this talk. And Professor Mahadevan, in the last session, he spoke about timeless Gita, endless bliss. This was the book which has been released after that. The volume 2 also coming. Probably it is released elsewhere, but it will come. So this is one book which we may all read. And that specific book about this particular topic, work joy revolution. We are fortunate that Professor Mahadevan is here. And the other author, Karthik ji, is also here, who has helped Mahadevan in bringing out this book. So I think they are bringing out the second volume also very soon. That will also come. So request all of us to use the resources which Vyoma and the professors are putting for this understanding of Gita. First thing is we have the chanting. So Rama Bhagini is already teaching in Brigade Mill Gardenia. She is teaching the chanting here. So we have a chanting book with Parayana, and Parayana is done on Gita Jayanti day. Even Professor Mahadevan organizes a Parayana through practical Vedanta. We can join the Gita Parayana again. We can also, but before the Parayana, we have to know the shlokas and we have to do the Parayana. I suggest whoever wants to start, or you can tell this message in your workplaces also. I think some of us have come for that. That they wanted to understand how work is very learned for how that work joy is very important for them, and they want to transmit this knowledge in their workplaces. So that also we can do, and we can spread teaching these Gita shlokas if we are able to. The second is to read this kind of the we have in Vyoma, we have a course on Professor Mahadevan itself on the bird's eye view of the each chapter. So today he gave us only 5 shlokas, insight into 5 shlokas, and he explained us. The same way, the entire chapter's view also he has given, and there are talks from management and leadership on Bhagavad Gita by Professor Mahadevan. So we can have a look at all that from Vyoma website or Practical Vedanta YouTube channel. So request all of you to make use of it. Once you study the shloka and you have seen the chapter summary, then is the time to go into verse by verse study. So verse by verse study, one of our other teachers, Rama Shivaramanji, who is a disciple of Swami Paramarthananda for 16 years, she has taken a course on verse by verse, where she explains every verse, their relevance to our daily life, and also the Vedantic aspects of the verse. Very simply, about 200 classes, I think she finishes the entire Gita. Slowly we can learn that also. And if you want to dwell deep into certain aspects of Sanskritam and other things, Vishwanathan has done a course in Vyoma for the other aspects, other Vyakhyanas and other things, for the first 3 chapters only. That also we can do. Bharati Vidya Bhavan is conducting a exam, Bhagavad Gita exam, for which some of the students here are attending, where we teach 3 chapters, 4 chapters, 5 chapters, and 6 chapters, incremental increase over 4 exams, and it is done over a period of 2 to 3 years. We can study deeply Sanskritam, Gita, Bhagavad Gita through those Anopacharika exams. The other beautiful thing is IGNOU has just about 1 month before, they have released an MA course on Bhagavad Gita. If you have a degree in some other uh, area, you can still apply go to IGNOU site and ask for MA in Bhagavad Gita. They have developed a pedagogy and a curriculum for Bhagavad Gita, and they are giving an MA degree. So there are a lot of resources. What does all this show is Bhagavad Gita is a very important text, which I think every Sanatana Dharmi should know or try to understand and apply to our daily lives. Thank you very much, Professor Mahodaya, for giving us this opportunity. And these books of our professor is available here. So whoever wants to buy, you can buy the books. Thank you very much.
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः। डिसेम्बर् मासे 11 दिनाङ्के